Hello, Lowell here, and I'm back at it with another boss guide for Lies of P Overture. This time around, I'll show you how to take down Markiona, Puppeteer of Death, and her lovely queen Arche puppet that isn't annoying at all. So much like my guide for the Tyrannical Predator, I'm going to split this video into two parts. General tips for defeating Puppeteer Mommy, and then an overview of how I exactly did it. Do note that this is on the standard hard difficulty and not on any tier of New Game Plus. My Pinocchio bro was level 89 at the time of defeating Markiona and had 30 vitality, 30 vigor, 20 capacity, and 30 advance. And I leveled up once with the ergo she dropped for me. Anyway, you'll find her right at the end of the puppet and alchemist filled greenhouse section of the DLC. There's a stargazer right outside her boss arena and a place to summon some help. No shame if you do so. So Markiona, Puppeteer of Death, fights with her own puppet. Getting tag teamed by these two isn't a lot of fun until you learn how to deal with him. You see, when the puppet is about to attack you, the threads attached to the puppet will glow red. Markiona herself attacks with big blue orbs, but the puppet will not attack you as she does so. That said, they sometimes combo between themselves, so be careful. Most importantly, however, Markiona will regenerate the puppet if you manage to get rid of its health. This gives you a bit of a window to attack Markiona, but she doesn't always stay passive. As such, I recommend ignoring the puppet. You only need to kill Markiona to finish this fight. So let's take a look at each of her moves and how to deal with them. Markiona will attack with 2 orb slashes before jumping into the air and slamming down. Sometimes she'll add a forward-facing orb attack after this. This is a great combo to perfect guard through and build stagger with. Sometimes she'll just do the leap of this attack and slam down, also a great perfect guard target. She also has a different powered up orb slam from above that comes down a bit slower. Once again, the perfect guard timing isn't too hard, and if you guard too early, you can quickly get your health back. She has an incredible hard to perfect guard flurry of orb attacks that I didn't see too often. I did find success dodging them, but more often than not got deleted. If you're a little bit far from her, she'll throw 2 huge orbs out in front of her before pulling them back. The pullback can also damage you, but if you stay to the side, you can avoid it. I had bad luck trying to perfect guard these and mostly dodged them. She'll also sometimes throw out a random sigil orb attack or two that I found easier to dodge than perfect guard. Rarely, she will send orbs out to spin around her. If you're lucky, you can dodge into the inner circle and get a lot of attacks off. This next attack I saw most often when she was under half health. It's this wicked fast multiple orb slam attack, and she chains into it twice more. You can sneak around her and attack from behind if you're lucky, but if you're fast you can perfect guard most of them and basically stagger her on the spot. And finally, when she pulls 2 orbs back up behind her with several threads, this means she's going to grab you. Wait until the last moment to dodge in any direction to avoid this. Otherwise you're probably dead. Now that's Markiona out of the way. What about the puppet itself? Right after walking to the boss door, the puppet will lunge at you. You can perfect guard this easily. Markiona will have the puppet spin once before it spins several more times around her. I recommend backing away from this attack and punishing her when it ends. Markiona will slam her fist into the ground and then the puppet will slam its hammer down right after. The puppet will fly up into the air and slam down awash in blue energy. It will do this twice. It's very easy to dodge if you see it coming. It has a couple of standard combos and attacks that Markiona will sometimes participate in. Best to dodge back out of these and stay away from both of them until they chill. So at about half health, Markiona and her puppet will turn Super Saiyan for a brief amount of time. So for the first time she enters this mode, the puppet will slam its hammer down twice. Each time it will explode, before slamming its hammer down a third time and exploding over a large area. I really recommend just booking it as far away as possible so you don't get caught in the final explosion. However, you can also block and not lose too much health on the final kaboom. Sometimes Markiona will briefly go Super Saiyan and have the puppet attack once. It's best to try to dodge this one. And finally, she'll trigger a string of Super Saiyan attacks that are pretty hard to dodge. If you can get out of their range, I recommend doing so. So the number one most important tip for taking Markiona down is to not attack her while the thread connected to the puppet is red. That means the puppet attack is incoming, and if you're locked onto Markiona, you won't see it coming. I recommend rolling away or guarding until the attack completes and then resuming your assault on her. You're likely going to have to get decently good at perfect guarding her orb attacks before getting the swinger 3 with your weapon in. If you're dodging a lot, you're likely going to run out of stamina eventually and take a puppet mallet to the head. I found it much easier to stay as close as possible to her while being patient and looking for openings to poke her after her orb swings. Furthermore, she's weak to acid attacks and the decay damage over time helps a lot with this fight. So how did I specifically defeat her? I run an arcane build and switch out fire, electric, and acid weapons as the need arises. I brought in the Acidic Crystal Spear blade with the Acidic Crystal Spear handle. though I did try fire weapons and found them less effective. Upon entering the arena, I used the Radiate Fable art to greatly increase acid attack right away. Perfect guarded her puppet's first attack, and then did my best to poke her when her puppet thread was blue. I spent a lot of time trying to stagger her with charged attacks, but found far more success just poking her and getting damage over time to K ticks going. I'd reuse Radiate whenever I had the chance. I largely ignored the puppet and watched her closely, noting when she triggered a puppet attack and backing off or getting a quick poke in before guarding. I eventually learned the perfect guard timing for most of her blue orb combos pretty well. While in other failed attempts, I was successful at getting away from her first Super Saiyan attack at about half health. In my successful attempt, I realized I was too close to the puppet and merely guarded the attack, popped a pulse cell, and fought on. And it worked. I defeated Markiona and her annoying puppet pal, and I was only shaking a little bit afterward. So that's all you need to know to take down Markiona, Puppeteer of Death, and her Queen's Arche puppet. I truly hope this guide could help you take her on, and if it did, consider shooting us here at Gamer Guides a like and maybe even subscribe so I know to keep on making boss guides for Lies of P Overture.